Okay, all right, that sounds really good. Okay. All right, Ron, let's get started. How old are you, Ron?
I'm 86.
Thank you, sir. How much do you weigh?
160, I guess.
And your height, sir?
5'11".
Thank you, sir.
It's probably more like 5'10" now.
Yeah. You can actually get that 1 inch back if you want. The 1 inch that he actually lost is the discs in between the vertebrae are becoming dehydrated, and so they're not as spongy, and they become more beef jerky, and they become thinner, not because they lose the scar tissue or the tissue. It's because they become dehydrated. Because what happens is when we back up our toxins, we create infection. Infection creates inflammation, and inflammation, inflame, that's what that stands for, causes dehydration. And that's why people think they're getting old, but they're not. They're turning into beef jerky. And because of the acidity in their body, they're pulling calcium out of their bones faster than they're making it. There you go. Just thought I would explain it.
Yeah, I've already lost one, fractured, splintered. Then we had a little surgery to take the debris out, and that worked marvelously.
Well, actually, you had surgery on your spine?
Yeah.
Well, there was no debris, sir. That was actually the beautiful connective tissue, cartilage, that turned into beef jerky. And believe it or not, with Wolfe Non-Surgical and cell-sonic regeneration, I would have reversed that without surgery in 20 minutes, half hour.
Wow.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And I would love someone to challenge me. That's all.
Good.
Yeah.
That lodged next to a nerve and was killer pain.
Well, I know, but the problem is that it was calcifying. It was pulling calcium from the bones to try to buffer down the actual acidity of the area. It became acidic. And calcium is alkalining, and that was to stop the inflammation. But what happens is when the calcium builds up in the scar tissue, it presses on the nerve and it causes pain. But you can get rid of that, like I said, through Wolfe Non-Surgical and cell-sonic regeneration.
Okay.
All right.
So how do we get that? How do we get that?
Well, where do you live?
We live in Utah, southern Utah, St. George.
Yeah, I don't have anybody in that area, love. I don't. Okay.
We're willing to travel also.
Well, let's put it this way, and I'm not telling you to do this, but we have a setup in Mexico, and it's in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. And if you may not, I tell people don't want to hear the truth. They want to go for a treatment, and then they want with that treatment to just have it all over. We don't understand that the basic premise is that the majority of the population have been sold a health program that is doesn't just not work, but actually plays against us to cause our aging and our atrophy. Now, if you don't have to do this, and we're not looking for people to do this, but if you were to come down for a month and you went on the cardio med bed, you got non-surgical, cell-sonic, you swam in our structured ionized pool, you used all our energy medicine devices, in 1 month you'd be a new person. That's what I'm going to tell you. And does it cost? Well, of course it does. But are our prices better than anywhere else in the world? Yeah, we're in Mexico. And also, I'm going to be 68 years old. So the day of money comes first is long gone for me. But I'm not telling you to come down there. But I'm telling you that, people expect way too much. You go to a chiropractor, he adjusts things, but they just pop out of place. Because it's all about scar tissue and calcification. I need you to get this, Ron. It's scar tissue and it's calcification. The tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, the organs, infection goes into the body. It creates inflammation, and the inflammation causes the dehydration of the ligaments, tendons, muscles, organs. End of story. End of story. And that the calcium is being pulled from your bones so that you do not become too acidic to get what I call stage 4 inflammation. They call it cancer, which I don't believe there is cancer. All it is lack of oxygen in the body. That's why we're always tired. We're exhausted because as you lose oxygen in the body, you're losing voltage. Every cell in the body has 0.04 volts. If we were to get those volts back to 0.04 volts and we were to give you back perfect circulation, then you would have perfect health. That's the end of the story. Everybody thinks they can go for a treatment or take a magic pill. You know, I mean, if let's say if I lived in your city and you came weekly, well, we could definitely slowly turn things around. But when people come to us, you know, and I'm telling you that it might be 1 out of 1,000 people that would actually take on what we say. And that is if you want to turn your life around, right, you go in and you take massive personal action. Like I can tell you, when people come to us, they go on the cardio med bed once to twice a day. They get cell-sonic regeneration once a day. They get non-surgical, which is an elbow technique where we're pulling the scar tissue apart, the lumps, the bumps, the fibroids, things of that nature, okay? And we're doing that once a day. And then you know what? Every three or 4 days, you're going to take a day off because you need to give the body a break because we are unraveling so much issues in your tissues, whether you believe it or not. The human body is a vessel. And if you can't process trauma, drama, and crises, then you store it in your body. And the more emotionally unbalanced you are, okay, understand something. The more lumps, bumps, pain, swelling, stiffness you're going to have. People that are happy and people that when they have crises in their life, drama in their life, which means all your family members and friends and everybody you know are drama queens and kings, and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not. The reality is the whole world has been, you know, if there's a big thing going on, we're supposed to just lose it, okay? So everybody processes differently, but we teach you how to put your actual body into neutral while everybody is losing themselves and pumping adrenaline and cortisol into their body. Because guess what? Whether you believe it or not, the suffering that you suffer for your family and the friends in the world does nothing except make you sicker and weaker. So we're not telling you to become hard. We're telling you to become softer, fill up your heart, and learn how to protect yourself. So we can get rid of the scar tissue. We can get the calcium back into the bones. We can get your circulation back. Understand that. But if you want to make the changes, and remember something, the older you get, the more life your food and your nutrition needs. The older you get, and the more life you need to be putting into you. So a lot of people never change their personality. They don't change their diet, and they expect they're going to get well. Well, that's just not going to happen, okay? So the reality is it's about electrical conductivity, and that actually equals oxygen. And guess what? There is no old, oh my God, it sucks to get old. You got to get rid of the scar tissue and get the calcium back into the bones. Understand, nobody's metabolism, Ron, ever slows down to the last minute they're alive. The problem is they've got scar tissue and calcification blocks in their body. And I know what I'm talking about. And then your intestines are twisted. You know, every time that you and your wife have ever felt any type of swelling in your abdomen, pain in your abdomen, contraction in your abdomen, low back pain, okay? Every time you do that, you are creating more scar tissue called adhesions in your abdomen till they can even wrap around your intestine and slow your digestion down, slow your assimilation down, and actually, create what we call constipation, which nobody believes they have, which the whole world has. If you didn't have any type of cellular constipation or colon stagnation constipation, you would never be sick. That is the truth. Like, you will never, ever hear of me missing one day because of a cold, flu, or having some kind of dis-ease, because there are no diseases. It's just the body becoming infected and not knowing how to detoxify, and then it becomes inflamed, and then the inflammation needs calcium to buffer it down, and then you take on water to try to dilute the poisons, and that's the domino effect. I'm not going to keep talking about that, but I need you to understand that you can have your youth back to the point that you don't have suffering. Remember something, everybody that's in pain, everybody that's swelling, everybody that's stiff, everybody that has redness has blockages, and those blockages are scar tissue and calcification. If you watch my shows, you'll see that I challenge the medical world and other natural health practitioners to come on my show and prove that my philosophy is wrong, and it's not. Because we're the only company, or should not work company, but we're the only healing retreat that offer a money-back guarantee, and we do. I could do any spot on your body that you tell me that's stiff and achy, and I could work on it for 10 to 20 minutes, and you're going to tell me you already have relief. So the reality is, if you're not pulling the scar tissue apart to allow the blood flow, the lymph flow, the actual electrical energy to flow again, then what are you doing? So a lot of people, even if you don't want to do any therapies, I'm going to build you the diet. I'm going to put you on nutraceuticals. And understand, nutraceuticals aren't supplements. They're higher in vibration. They're higher in light, okay? And like even our Ormus minerals have the highest electrical conductivity of any electrolyte trace mineral drink on the planet. So we've tried to search out the best. So just remember something, okay? Everything you eat and drink leaves the body. I don't care what it is. Whether it's the nutraceuticals, supplements, or food or water, it all leaves the body, and it leaves behind light and frequency. That's real science. So even every nutrient you take leaves the body, but every nutrient has a different frequency or vibration that helps in the balancing and the healing of the body. How am I doing?
It's confusing.
It won't be, because I'm going to send you this audio, and I want you to listen to it 12 times. Just listen to it, write the notes down. It's all. Can I tell you something? It's supposed to be confusing. Do you want to know something? I just told you the most logical thing. And believe it or not, adults are confused, but guess what? 12-year-olds understand this, and even 8-year-olds understand this. And the problem is we've all been programmed to not live a vitally healthy life. Okay, that's enough about that. All right. So let's talk about you. Let's go through your symptoms. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is some of this is going to overlap. So you both have consults. We're going to take the 2 hours, but I'm going to give you the most and the best information that I can. Is that okay? All right?
Sure.
And I'm going to ask you a question. Is it okay if I utilize this audio as learning purposes? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Now, here we go. And understand something. I'm going to be putting your names beside the phone numbers. And remember something. Don't ever sit back and go, this is a silly question. I don't want to bother him. You need to call me with every little question, because it takes us to the next step. Do you understand?
Yes.
You'll be surprised if you work with me and you actually follow through with these things. You know, let's make Ron, and it's Ron and Sandra, right?
Yes.
Sandra and Ron, let's make this where the two of you are coming together is light energy spirit beings, and you're coming back to claim your health. And understand, you can challenge me, you can question me. I don't care about what. I will never be upset. If you fall off the program, I will not be upset. We're going to keep working on it, because your brain, your subconscious, gets addicted to things, and we're not going to get it right the first time. But guess what? You're getting older, so we need to, take as much action as we can and try to be on path as good as we can. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
How much does the trip to Mexico cost
Oh,
per person?
first of all, you know what? I don't want to try to sell you a trip to Mexico. All right? Okay?
Well, you could tell us how much it cost.
Okay. Well, when people come, like usually the cardio med bed is $150. But when people come and they stay for longer, okay, the cardio med bed is only $100 because we have people that will do the cardio med bed twice a day. And after a few days, you can do it. Let me tell you something, and I mean this. I don't mind putting my reputation on the line. After 10 days of being with us, you haven't felt like this, you or your husband, that you can remember in probably 20, 30 years. And that's the truth. It's all called energy medicine.
There's not a blanket charge?
Well, we don't know how much you're going to do. Do you understand?
So
and if I did
a general idea, because how are we going to know if we can afford it?
Well, I'm giving that to you right now, okay? And the pulses are on the Cellsonic are 50 cents, okay? The non-surgical, okay, it depends on who's doing it, but the non-surgical is around $150 to $200 per treatment, okay? All right? And you're not going to be getting treatment every day, okay? But you're going to use the energy medicine. Like we have a vitamin D crystal light there. We have the PEMF there. We have the Avicen. We have the Bioptron there. Okay, we have the strongest infrared therapy, and all of that is free. That's all in our DOD 5-star in Mexico. You get so much that if you were to do this anywhere like in Canada, United States, or Europe, you would be paying way beyond what we charge. If you want, love, I can have Lori go over everything with you if you decide you'd like to do something like that. I'm not trying to sell you to come down because we are very limited. When we first started in Mexico, we were having up to 200 people. We had a 220 room resort, and we would have that thing filled 60% of the time. We don't do that anymore. We only have no more than 3 people that we treat now. We only treat 3 people at a time because guess what? We want to make sure that the quality of the treatment, okay, is going to deliver what we want because people are getting so chronically ill. You know, I started in this business now 43 years ago, and back then it was allergies, asthma, arthritis, constipation, okay, and the odd, what they would call cancer person, okay? And today, now we've got all these people with so-called autoimmune diseases, which there are none, because the body would never attack itself. That's just, they can't scientifically prove that. The body just attacks the parasites and the poisons in the body. So wherever those toxic, wherever the toxins are, whatever organ, whatever joint, if you can't get rid of that, the body's going in there to try to break it down and attack it. And that's what people call autoimmune diseases. And understand something, most functional medicine doctors are not functional at all because their theory's not right. So it's really, if you take a look at it, and people don't like when you put it down to a basic because I don't believe there's any diseases. It's just people that are malnourished and poisoned, and understand that. And the problem is you become dehydrated. That's why you're stiffer. If you notice, the older you get, the stiffer you get, because the tissues and the ligaments and the tendons are becoming more dehydrated. And you're losing calcium from the bones that's getting in your joints, and it's acting like rust, as if you had rust on door hinges. Are you with me?
Yeah.
All right. So it's really quite basic. You know, I will tell you that if somebody comes down to us, they can limit themselves to do whatever they want to do. But I will let you talk to Lori, and we can have that discussion later, more in detail. I think the most important thing today is to build you a perfect day diet program.
You're not going to make an appointment.
Pardon? What?
Oh, my wife was telling me I'm not going to make my appointment here.
What appointment?
I got another appointment at 11 o'clock.
What time do you have your appointment, sir?
It's 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock our time. This is mountain time.
Okay, so what? How long is that before your appointment?
15 minutes.
So what would you like to do, sir?
Well, I'm going to have my wife try to call her a minute and cancel because I want to continue this.
All right, sir. But just know this, that if you have to go to the appointment, just know this, okay? That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm here to work with you, and we can continue this. Or you can cancel it. I I want you to know that it's okay with me, all right?
Okay. The other thing I want to mention is one of my problems I've had all my life is I don't drink enough. And
Well,
I've had
we can fix
strokes.
We can fix that, and just understand this, that you'll drink more if it tastes better, and you'll drink more if it's more hydrating. I can tell you this right now, that
Okay.
you know what is the most hydrating water on the planet? What is the most hydrating water?
I don't know, we drink oxygenated water.
Well, that's nice, but it's not the most oxygenated. Do you mean ozonated?
Yeah, I don't know, we got a special pitcher that sits there and bubbles and bubbles. And
Okay, sir, that wouldn't be an oxygenator because oxygen won't stay in there. It might be an ozonator, but that's not the best water. That doesn't even stay in the water. You can do it, but you have to drink it right away. The best water in the world for hydrating is called structured water. If you look on our website, you can buy a portable structure unit, and you can pour any liquid through that unit, and it will structure it. And I know you don't believe this, but you can actually take tap water and run it through a structure unit, and you're protected, because structured water that you make yourself with a portable structure unit, okay, it's the same as rainwater. You know how right now they're doing chemtrails in the sky, sir?
yeah,
And you know how before chemtrails we had acid rain?
yeah.
Well, guess what? When that rain comes down, why isn't it killing the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, the microorganisms? And why are the crops still as good as they were 500 years ago? And they are. And that's because the ozone layer in the atmosphere structures the water, so anything that's harmful in the water does not bother anything living down here. And I know people don't believe that, but that's actual science. And you can look that up with Dr. Gerald Pollack, and he is a professor at the Washington State University, okay, in United States. So anyways, structured water gets rid of EMF and radiation better than any other known water. It will hydrate 1,000% better than other waters. Okay, it has no surface tension. So right off the bat, you're going to be able to drink more without feeling full. So you can take a look at that. And the other thing is, you should be adding things like this, because if you made your water tasty, you'd probably drink it. And understand, can I tell you something? That guess what? It's not water that hydrates. It's structured water that has electrolytes. If you were to put in your water, okay, I would have you doing front-end loading. It says on my Beyond Ormus Minerals, I have a product called Beyond Ormus Minerals. It says on there to do 40 drops a day. But in your situation, for what you've told me so far, I would have you do 40 drops 3 times a day in 3 liters or otherwise 3 quarts of structured water. And trust me, if you were to put in there in each liter 40 drops of the Beyond Ormus minerals, a pinch, just a pinch of black diamond, which is a humic fulvic that goes in and looks after the parasites, picking up the heavy metals and getting rid of the chemicals in your blood, your brain, and your cells. And then I were to get you to put just about 2 to 4 drops of either super cinnamon, which helps your blood sugar level and makes the water taste better, or you could put in orange burst essential oil, or you could put in lemon lift essential oil. And if they have a taste, it's going to be better. But understand something, sir. Water does not hydrate. Structured water with trace minerals that have a high electrical charge hydrates. You're going to feel this. That is the science of water. Okay? It's not about alkaline water. You could even drink slightly acidic water and it's still going to alkaline you. Do you understand? It's about having structured water that can get into the cells and deliver the nutrition, detoxify, and actually bring in the electrolytes, which are highly charged minerals. And our Beyond Ormus minerals, we have a third-party study proving that our electrolyte mineral drink, Beyond Ormus minerals, has the highest electrical charge of any electrolyte mineral drink out there. So that's the first thing. And understand, so what you do is you're going to get 3 glass containers with 1 quart in each, put them on the table, make them, and then you are going to drink 1.5 by noon, another 1.5 by 4 o'clock. Sit them on the table. Structured electrolyte power water. If you do this, you're going to see a huge difference. And understand, first thing in the morning, everybody should be drinking warm to hot, at least 1 quart. If you could do 1 quart of water before you did anything else. Trust me, you're not used to drinking water, but guess what? Okay? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you're not a dog. And if you have those quarts sitting on the table, you're going to see them. It's going to be a reminder. And you can also put a timer on your phone, sir, to make sure that you drink this water. And as soon as you've done it long enough and strong enough, you'll make it a habit into your day. If I can say something, okay? I get it. You know what? Hard work can pay off, but it cannot pay off without a strategy. Most of the world works hard with no strategy. And guess what? That is just beyond exhausting.
That's true.
Anyways, you're not going to get that. You're going to find out. I need you and your wife, Sandra, to actually listen to this 10 to 12 times and make notes. Stop it. Talk about it. Okay? And that's going to be very important. And once you've listened to this, you're going to find out that, guess what? You're going to say, wow, he's only being logical. That's it. And understand something, sir. You're malnourished and you're toxic. How are we going to bring the toxins down? And how are we going to bring your nourishment up? That's the most important thing that you need to get in there. And then any stiff joints, well, we know what that is. It's beef jerky. It's beautiful connective tissue, whether it's cartilage that used to be healthy that now is beef jerky, from a tendon to a ligament to a muscle. And any lump and bump in your body is either a knot of scar tissue or it's a storage shed for parasites and toxins. Okay?
Yep.
How am I doing?
Doing good.
Okay. Please talk to me and let's talk about other things that you're feeling. And then what we'll do is we'll go through your day starting in the morning and walk through your day. And we'll look at your diet. And then I'll make some nutraceutical suggestions. Okay?
Sure. First of all, 2 things that have both set us back. My wife had 3 strokes and a heart attack in the last year.
That was a year ago.
A little over a year ago.
Can I ask you a
And
question? Does your wife?
Yeah.
We can do the consult on both of you because it's better to have both of you engaged here, and we just,
Right.
it's better. Teamwork makes the dream work, sir. And does your wife have any stents in her heart?
Yes,
How many, love?
I think 3
When did you get them?
a year ago
Okay, all right. How are you doing?
in April.
How are you doing?
Fine, so far.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
taking blood thinners.
I get it. Okay. All
I'm
right.
trying to get off. I'm trying to get off the Plavix, and just take supplements.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll work with your doctor on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't go to a cardiologist. I don't like them.
Well, the problem is they're called a specialist, and a specialist isn't too special because specialists only look at one organ. They don't look at the healing of the body at all. So,
Well, I totally get that. I go to my general practitioner and told him I wanted him to be my cardiologist. Anyway, he said I had to stay on the Plavix for a year. So when the year was up, now I'm just trying to take supplements instead.
Okay, and what did they tell you the Plavix was going to do for you?
Just thin my blood so I wouldn't corrode the stents.
Well, actually, you have to understand the stents are a foreign object, right?
Exactly.
So when you have a foreign object in your body, you need to have really good circulation, and you need to make sure that you're on a mucusless diet. So you have to be on an anti-inflammatory diet, high in enzymes, okay, and high in electrolytes, because that is the energy that you need, okay?
Okay.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about both of your symptoms, just so I can explain from my point of view what I think, and then we'll go through both your diets, because they're going to be similar, okay?
Yeah, let me explain quick a minute what I had the 2 strokes, which messed me up. And then I also had a bad UTI and ended up in the hospital.
Well,
that messed me up.
Well, nobody wants to believe this, but all of these problems you're talking about are your bowels rotting out, okay? So that's a fact, and I can prove it. You've been absorbing waste from your bowels for years and years and years. And you have to understand, a bad UTI just means that's an infection in your bladder. And when they did it, did they tell you that they found E. coli?
No.
No.
Well, they would if they looked. Bladder infections are caused because of a backed up bowel, but it's a leaky, they call it leaky gut, but there's no such thing as leaky gut. It's leaky large intestine. So you're actually pooping into your pelvis. And then when the liver gets sluggish and it can't purify the blood properly, the kidneys have to take it on, and it goes through the kidneys. And the bladder's like a sack. So any sediment or anything that it wasn't supposed to filter will actually get stuck in the bottom of the bladder, and it infects the bladder, and that's what you call a UTI, sir.
Yeah, I'm also talking about kidneys. I only have one left, and that's starting to struggle.
Well, the reality is what I would be doing when it comes to your kidneys, sir, is I'd be on the power water we talked about, the structured water with the Beyond Ormus minerals and the black diamond in it. Guess what? That's going to help to revitalize. But you also want to do what's called a castor oil pack on that kidney, on that low back. What you do is you get flannel, wool, or cotton, and you make it 3 layers thick. You soak it with castor oil, and then what you do is you put what you do is you put the castor oil on your back, and then you put saran wrap, and then you have a heating pad, and then you lay on this. So the first thing you're going to have is on your bed, you might have a towel there, and on the towel you have the heating pad, and then you have saran wrap on top of the heating pad so you don't get the oil on it, and then you have the 3-layer thick of the castor oil on your skin where your kidneys are, and you lay on that for an hour to 2 hours a day. You could do an hour in the morning, hour at night, or you can go up to 2 hours at a time. And the castor oil draws toxins out, but it brings heat into the area of the kidneys. And the other thing is, if it was me, I'm not telling you what to do, but you get yourself a clapper and you clap for 3 to 5 minutes over top of the kidney area. I promise you that if you see any bit of bruising, you didn't hurt your kidneys. Understand, healthy people do not bruise. Unhealthy people bruise. When people get older, they go to bed and wake up with a bruise. It means that the actual tissue in their body is actually degenerating. And that's how sick it is. Okay? So it's lacking oxygen and nutrition, and it's full of toxins. So people will bruise without even being banged. So I would be clapping over for about 3 minutes over your kidneys to increase the circulation. I promise you won't hurt them. And if you want to help your kidneys out and your whole body, you and your wife would take massive personal action and jump right on top of those bowels. And you don't have to do anything I ask you, but I would be doing for your large intestine daily cleansing tea twice a day, black gold twice a day, in a berry smoothie twice a day. And I'll explain these things in a minute because I'm repeating things, and we're gonna nail this thing. And then you can do what you want or what you don't do. But your large intestine is not a garbage can. It is your immune system. It's 85% of a person's immune system. The healthier you get your bacteria and the more tone you get back into that colon, the healthier you and your wife are going to be. That's it. And if we can get you to do that, and then if we can get you and your wife to do what's called the ultimate coffee enema. This is where you will be using green coffee.
I can't do enemas.
Pardon?
I can't do them.
Why?
I just can't do them by myself. I can go and have a hydro.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, that you can go and get a colonic, but you.
No, I'm not talking colonics.
Okay.
I'm talking the gentle hydro, where the day it goes in real slow.
All right. Well, the reality is, if you can do coffee enemas should be done daily for, probably 10 to 20 days to help to really purge that and cleanse that liver. So I'm not telling you to go do them,
I know.
I'm just telling you what that's the only effective way to cleanse the liver that I know of. And I've been at this for a long time, So I don't know if you could go to somebody and have them do an ultimate coffee enema on you properly, then I would say do that to purge that liver. But at least let's get the colon working better. Okay?
Okay.
Just know this, okay? Your liver, it does over 300 jobs, and it filters your blood. And how do you think your car would run after as many years as you've been around and you've never changed the filter?
No, I understand.
I know.
I totally
I just want to make it really clear. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. I'm here. Keep talking. I will keep listening and support. Okay.
So you're telling us that both of us need to do coffee enemas?
Oh, I can tell you right now. I'll put money on it. That yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, and I would have to do both of them. So.
How often?
I'm already overwhelmed. I'm sorry.
You don't need to. Okay, everything. When I make suggestions, it doesn't matter. We will work with what we have. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What else would you like to talk about? Do you guys go on a computer, or can you look up
Yeah,
stuff?
we have computers. Yeah.
Okay. If I gave you some homework, I would like you to go do it when we're done. And like after we go through everything here, I'll give you things to look up, and then you look them up, and then we get back and we will do another consult. Do you understand? And
Okay.
I'm not talking about me cutting you short here today. I'm talking about we'll do another consult. Like I told you, just spending money is not what we're here to do. And we're not talking about hard work. We're talking about strategizing before we do things. If we strategize, we save money, we save time, and we get there quicker and more efficiently, okay?
Okay.
I just want you to understand everything we're doing. I don't want you to, oh, well, we have to trust in this guy. We don't even know this guy. So I don't need you to trust in me. I need you to trust in yourself and do research and then come back and challenge me with anything that you have questions on. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, is there anything else, anything you want me to answer or talk about any other symptoms that you may have?
Yeah, I've got to do surgery. I'm just wondering if there'd be another way. I got my left knee, they redid, but a bunch of stainless steel parts in there. And then on my right knee, it's just bone on bone, no cartilage.
Well, sir,
They want-
I need to tell you this. It's not true. The cartilage is there. It's calcified. And whether you know this or not, you can do some research. The cartilage could be at 10%. It would still grow back if we put in the proper nutrition and electrical conductivity. And that's another fact. And so the cartilage is calcified due to the inflammation. Okay, when you have so much inflammation, you're pulling the bones from your knee. Pulling the calcium out of the bones in the knee area, and it's calcifying the cartilage. Go ahead, Sandra.
Well, I'm just wondering if they put some metal in there and my understanding was a rebuild, will they have scraped out that old cartilage? So does he have any cartilage left?
First of all, he's talking about the other knee now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that
Okay,
one,
I know, but I'll come back to that.
rehabilitate.
I was talking about the knee that didn't have surgery. Now we're going to go back to the knee that had surgery, and I'll tell you something right now. Okay? If I could be there right now with you live, okay? In 15 to 20 minutes, me going in and doing Wolfe Non-Surgical on your husband's knee, where he's got the surgery and where he needs the surgery, I would do 15 to 20 minutes. And if I had my sonic regeneration as well, I would reduce his stiffness and his pain in that amount of time by, how's this, 50 to 80%.
Well, that would be great. So how do we do that?
Well, I'm trying to tell you, this isn't a sales pitch. I'm trying to tell you that we're trying to create what's called DOD Power Pack clinics in every state in the United States. And every day somebody's calling and we're teaching. And when somebody comes to us and they purchase our cardio med bed and sonic regeneration, we give a complete 25-day training on how to do the non-surgical, how to do proper consults, how to do the emotional work. But you know what? We don't have every state yet. So, but we are creating a lot of them. Do
you have anything in Nevada?
No, I don't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't. No, California.
What about Arizona?
You know what? I don't, but I have somebody in training in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're right at the very bottom tip of Utah.
Yeah, I don't have anybody around that area. It's like I have In some states, I have up to 10 practitioners in a state, and then some states I don't have anybody yet, but we're working on it. Anyways, just know that I'm just telling you that the world of physical therapy is really dysfunctional. That's all. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about all the people you see going around limping, and then they go.
Tell me on that, because I think everything's dysfunctional now.
Well, yeah, but not our stuff.
I'm not talking about your stuff. I'm talking about mainstream stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife spends a lot of time on the computer elsewhere studying health. And
Well, you have to. But sometimes you can end up going down a rabbit hole and not coming out for days or months or years. Remember something, and I'm going to say it again. It's all scar tissue and calcification. If you get off of that path, then you're going to be lost, because that's the truth. Why do you think that? You know, I mean, nobody would have had a heart attack or a stroke if they had the proper electrolytes and oxygen in their blood. So that's the truth right there. It's all about minerals. It's all about oxygen, and it's all about electrical conductivity.
we also have an oxygen tent.
I think that it's fine, but you know, the reality is the oxygen tent is just very superficial in what what it's doing. Most of the stuff that the majority of the population does is that way. I mean, people shouldn't be drinking ozonated water or oxygenated water. They should be drinking structured water, and that's the God's truth. And it's a lot more cheaper than any other water to drink. I mean, the whole thing is about putting people in the wrong direction, and that's the reality of it. So let's talk about you guys, and let's walk through your day and see what you do throughout your day, okay? Can we do that? And what you take and what you do. So, like, you know, first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah, first.
To go make a whole list of all the supplements and everything.
Yeah, we take lots of supplements.
Well, see, that's the problem too, because I will tell you, yeah. You know, everybody's going to tell you they've got the best, and I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to tell you, I deal with this all the time. What we need to do is look at only very few things, and that's this. Are you ready? Trace minerals, okay? Fatty acids, amino acids. Those are the three most important things. And then proper detoxification, okay? That's what we need to look at. So people take way too much. They take way too much, and they take way too many bottles. With us, we don't take a lot of bottles. We do front end loading on what really matters. Okay, and this is why I'm going to have you. I'm not going to build a nutraceutical protocol. I'm going to tell you the things I would put you on. Then I'd like you to go and just do a little bit of research. You can download the pdgfree.com guide. There's information in there. Or you can go to docofdetoxstore.com, okay, and then write your questions down, and I'll go through things, and I'll prove to you that you might sometimes pay more for a more high-quality product, but it's going to do what it's supposed to do, and we can get rid of 3 or 4 or even up to 5 other products. I'm telling you that it's crazy out there. And, yeah.
I think about 50 pills a day.
Well, that's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
and understand something, sir. You don't digest pills well. So that's another problem. So the reality is this. Remember something. It's not what you take. It's what you absorb into your cells. We already know you're not drinking structured water. We already know you're not getting your trace minerals. We already know you're not bringing up your electrical conductivity. So you need to keep just focus on the things I'm telling you, because even if you've never heard this before, I'm telling you that we're on the money here. It's all, look, at the day that we have no electrical conductivity in our body, we have left our body. And the day that you are feeling old or sick is the day that your 0.04 volts in your cells have dropped, okay? And when that drops, your oxygen drops. And when that happens, then you start getting blood clotting, okay? So that's all. That's the truth. There it is right there. There's the Holy Grail, okay?
Yeah, one of my problems, I guess, is I keep wondering how much money and effort I want to put into having a healthy body when I'm 86 years old. When I'm near death or the end of life.
I don't know what to say, sir.
Yeah,
And
that's a tough one.
I don't want to say what the usual thing people say is you can't take it with you, but I just want you to do your research and decide what you want to do with me, and then I will work with you in the highest integrity,
I think he needs somebody to convince him that his age is not necessarily that old, that people, if they were taking proper care of their body and eating the right things and doing the right things, they probably live to be 150.
That's correct. And
so he's just at middle age.
And the reality is this is, sir, I don't mean to be like this, okay? But you're almost talking like you have nothing to live for. So you have to have something to live for before you...
And I think you're totally right. He doesn't seem to have the will.
Yeah.
And I've had to push on everything, and I'm overwhelmed. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. And here's where we are, Sandra. Okay?
Yeah.
We're at a point where your husband hasn't had energy for so long that he has lost the excitement. And I know, listen. I mean, if I could just do it for you, I would do it for you, but I can't do it for you. And I mean this in the best way, but you know what? We've created an app that cost us $250,000. It's free to the world. We give the perfect day guide away. I created a whole platform where 95% of all the shows we do, and we're 24/7 live, is trying to teach people and train people. The reality is I'm telling you this, is that it's kind of a catch-22. Well, I don't have the passion to want to live or to thrive because I don't have any energy. So guess what? You got to put the energy into the person. Once they start getting energy, it's like this. Oh my God, she has so much spirit. Well, the spirit energy is actually electrical conductivity. And the more electricity you have, the more energy you have. And when you have no energy and it goes on for years, but understand something, sir, you need to change your attitude. You need to walk around the house with a slight smile on your face, connecting to the lion heart breath, and making plans to do and live and do things.
And that's why I was thinking that going to Mexico might be something that would help.
Okay, well, listen to me. I make you this solemn promise, eh, Lori? All right? This time of the year, it's a little slower, okay?
Yeah.
I will do the best price I can once you talk to Lori. We'll figure this out if you really want to come. But understand something. If you're coming and you're spending the last of your money or you feel like it's a wrong move, please do not come. Let's just work and stay home, okay?
Yeah, that's what I want to figure out. So what we can do. We can also go to a different state if we have to use your...
Well, if you want to go to
facilities.
A different state, I would suggest that you go and see Cheryl in California. She's 45 minutes away from San Francisco.
Oh, that's up where our kids live.
Really? She lives in Occidental California.
Well, they're in... Where are they?
Santa Rosa.
They're in Santa Rosa.
Okay, but listen. But still, if you're going to do something like that, I want to build the protocol, and you still need to understand, are your kids okay with you being there for a month?
Probably not.
All right.
I don't know. We'd have to talk to them and see where we could stay.
Well, I'm just being honest with you that if you went and worked with Cheryl for a month, and I will support you if you wanted to work with her. Do you understand? I don't care. I don't care where you go or what you do. I just want to show you that you can renew. That's it.
Right.
You know, that's it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we'll have to get a motor.
Huh?
To stay in. I was telling Ron, maybe we will have to get a motorhome to stay in.
I don't know. You know, this is something that you can take a look at. Go.
We'll just have to figure out which is the best way for us to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe this would be easier for me because I don't know that I have it in me to handle doing all of this for both of us.
Well, the reality is that if you came to Mexico, we could even get someone to help him do his ultimate coffee enema, you know?
Right.
You know, the reality is purging the liver is really important. It's not, you know, no, everybody shies away from it. But you know what? I got to tell you, getting the colon cleaned and the liver cleaned of not just the fecal waste, but the heavy metals and the chemicals and the parasites. It's huge, you know? Okay?
Well, let me pause a second here and
What?
ask my wife. We got some kind of special treatments in Hawaii, and they said I had millions of stones.
I don't know what they said you had. I don't remember stones, but anyway, we went to a place called Angel Farms and did for 10 days and did a clean out with hydrotherapy and.
Well, good luck with that. I used to run the.
Well, we already did it.
I know, but no, I didn't mean it that way. I ran the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy. I had the second colon therapy school in North America. I actually am putting up my colon therapy manual because we were the most advanced colon therapy school, and I really know that, and I'm giving it away free to practitioners around the world now so that they can follow what I used to do. And I can tell you a 10-day cleanse is a 10-day cleanse, but it's what you do after the cleanse, and it's all about strategy. You know, these 10-day cleanses are what you would call just turning down the burner, but you don't turn it off.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not putting it down. I mean, it's a step-by-step thing, and people need to learn that first of all, it's always going to be about this, okay? Reducing the toxic level and bringing back the electricity back into the body, and then keeping the electricity level up to 0.04.
They never discussed that.
Well, nobody does. I'm telling you, I'm the only one that works from this direction. You can search the world over. Nobody talks about this, and that's the reality. Is you don't want to take supplements. You need to take things that are going to increase the electrical conductivity. And if they're not doing that, then it's a waste. And I can tell you, with taking 50 whatever supplements a day is like beyond that. That's just old school.
Right.
Yeah. So let's take a look at, let's start venturing into when you wake up in the morning. If you could, Sandra, let's walk through the day for you and your husband.
Well, geez, what do we do? We come out and I have coffee and I get stuff on the computer.
Okay, 1 second. So I'm just going to tell you something. Let's stop right there, because the first thing you do at your age is not coffee. The first thing you do is 16 ounces to 32 ounces of warm to hot structured water that is a power drink, has electrolytes in it, and it's going to detoxify. Because you have to understand that breakfast was never, ever in our lives until 100 years ago. It was actually break fast. People never ate until lunch. They didn't eat. 100 years ago, they didn't eat in the morning. They knew better. Okay, so understand this, that the first thing you want to do when you get up is drink 16 to 32 ounces. And I will tell you, if it's structured water, you'll be able to handle it. It'll feel so light in your stomach. But if it's any other type of water, structured water is 1,000% more hydratable. You could drink 8 ounces of your water, but then you could drink 16 to 20 ounces of structured water, and it'll sit lighter in your stomach than the water you're drinking. Do you understand that? It's all about surface tension. Okay?
Yeah.
All right?
I understand.
And a structured water unit is less than $300, and it never breaks down, and you can put it. You can run any water through it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So that's what you do first thing in the morning. And you know as well as I do, Sandra, that if you're going to go clean something, that if you use warm to hot water, it cleanses better than room temperature or cold, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to use structured water with electrolytes, which is called Beyond Ormus Minerals. And I already told your husband, it's on earlier in the audio, that you guys should really be trying to get at least anywhere from 2.5 to 3 quarts of warm to structured water into your bodies per day for hydration. And I said to put 40 drops of Beyond Ormus Minerals in each of those quarts. And I also told him to put a pinch of Black Diamond, which will get rid of heavy metals, parasites, chemicals, and it will also drop off some micronutrients into the cells, the blood, and the brain. So Black Diamond does the blood, the brain, and the cells. Okay?
What is Black Diamond?
Black Diamond is pure humic fulvic. Okay? That's what was in all our soils, and that's what reinstates the good bacteria when you take it orally, called black gold. It's more thicker than the Black Diamond, but what humic fulvic used to do was it used to keep us toxin free, and that was in all the soil. So when our food was poison free, I don't want to say organic because I don't believe in organic anymore. Organic is a government scam. Okay.
Okay.
So you know what they should be saying is, this is a carrot. Well, you should be buying a carrot, or you should be buying a chemical carrot. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, we need to get
really.
we need to get rid of the organic thing. The organic's just a scam through the government. So yeah, because all we want is toxin-free food. Anyways, so the Black Diamond does the blood, the brain, the cells. The black gold does the whole digestive tract, and it reinstates the good bacteria. So the humic fulvic that we have,
So we need to get both?
well, yeah, you would. Listen, I'm going to give you things that work. Do you understand? That are supposed to do what they're supposed to do. And our humic fulvic, we're the only company that use a filtration. We use no chemicals to process ours. Okay?
Okay.
All right. How are we doing so far?
Okay, I guess.
Okay. Just remember.
Trying to grasp it.
Just remember that I'm going to send you this audio, and long as you have WhatsApp, I can send it to you. Do you have WhatsApp, love?
I don't know what that is even.
Okay. Then I'll have my team send it to your email. How's that sound, sweetie?
That sounds good. Thank you.
All right. We need everything to be easy. So I want you to understand, never feel overwhelmed. I will repeat myself as much as I need to do, or do what I need to do to have you understand that I want you to feel comfortable, and that it really isn't hard what we're going to teach you. It's not.
Okay.
Okay? All right? Now, you don't have to do this, guys, but as soon as you wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, put a slight smile on your face. Connect to your breathing. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. We call that the Lionheart breath. Sit there in bed with a slight smile before you even talk, before you open your eyes. Have a slight smile. Connect to your breathing in and out, okay? 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. And then I would suggest you do what's called belly button therapy. You can look it up. It's not expensive. It's called a belly button therapy kit. when you do it, you will release more dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins that are the healthy, happy molecules before you get out of bed. You'll never get out on the wrong side. And you'll have a 20% more stretch, because that's what these chemicals do. They give you stretch. They give you elasticity, and they also heal you. And you can do belly button therapy anytime you want. People will do it when they wake up and when they go to bed, so that they sleep well when they go to bed, and they'll do it when they wake up so that they're more flexible and they're happier, because that's what these hormones do. Okay,
And
you
you're
don't
going
have
to tell
to.
us how to do that?
It's actually in the Perfect Day Guide, pdgfree.com, and also in the Braveheart Nation app, bhnapp.com. If you download the app on your computer or phone, you go into what's called Evolve Master Classes. You'll see belly button therapy in there in do-it-yourself. In the do-it-yourself, we have the ultimate coffee enema, we have the belly button therapy, we have all of it. Vaginal infusion for women, it's all in there. Okay, we are the largest resource library with master classes, I think, on the World Wide Web, as far as we know. Okay?
Okay.
And it's all free. Okay?
Yeah.
So when you get out of bed, like I told you, that's when you're going to do the 16 to 32 ounces right away. Listen, when an animal wakes up in the forest, the first thing they do is gorge themselves with water, and then they have the biggest dump so that they lighten their load every day. And if you guys do this, you're going to see a difference in your day. And if you could do that before you do your coffee, and when you do make coffee, make sure you structure it. And also, if you we can show you how to make a bulletproof coffee if you want. Okay.
Yeah, I sort of know that. I did that at one time, but
Yeah, we use C60 MCT.
I didn't really like it, so.
Well, but that's a different one. We use what's called MCT C60, right? Just a little bit of that in there.
That's oil?
It's MCT. It's coconut oil, but it's MCT. Okay.
MCT 350?
No, MCT C60.
C60. Okay.
Yeah, whether you know this or not, MCT C60 is MCT coconut oil, but it's C60, and C60 is the highest electrical charge nutrient that you can take on the planet. It's the most powerful antioxidant. It's 270 times stronger than vitamin C. And what it does is it goes in and it will actually go in and heal the brain. It actually will go in and heal wherever it needs to heal. So we put the MCT 60 in there, and then just a little pinch of black diamond, and that's it. Now you've got what we call bulletproof coffee. All right?
Okay, so we put a pinch of black diamond and the MCT to C60.
You put a pinch of black diamond, just a pinch, and then you put in like about a half an eyedropper of the MCT C60. And what happens? It becomes a lot healthier, and for you when you drink the coffee, and it enhances the flavor. It doesn't take away the flavor. Okay. So, but what we're looking at is a quart and a half of water with you and your husband before lunch, and then a quart and a half of water drank throughout the day after lunch. And we want to have that done by 4 or 5 o'clock so that our bladder is more emptier. Remember, people will usually not drink water till later in the day until they're already dehydrated. You need to get the hydration into you. You know, it's like this. It's called a water exchange, and if it's structured water, it's going to be a lot stronger, but the water is to carry the nutrients in and the toxins out. It's like changing the bath water, okay? For the cells.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what happens after that, love?
After coffee?
Yeah.
Then we have breakfast.
And what's breakfast?
Oh, it varies. Sometimes it's boiled eggs. Sometimes it's French toast.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. So just know this. A boiled egg is called a hard-boiled egg.
Right.
Okay, guess what? Nobody digests that. You'd have to chew it to a liquid in your mouth. And I'm going to tell you, you can do it your way or you can do it another way. First of all, I would not be eating breakfast until 11 o'clock because we need to get that quart and a half into us because we need to cleanse things and flush things out and have a couple really good bowel movements. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, the hard-boiled egg is hard to digest. There's a clue. Okay?
So don't do those. Okay.
I'm just telling you that if you're going to do eggs and you want to be a lean, keen energy machine, you're going to do raw eggs in a blender drink. You're not going to do it any other way. When you do a raw egg, you can absorb, okay, up to 87% of that egg. When you do a hard-boiled egg, you're absorbing 11 to 13%. How do you like that?
I don't.
Well, you just ate a rock.
Right.
Okay, it sits in you and it makes you feel heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's the truth. So, and then if you want to do would you say French toast?
Yeah, Ron likes French toast. I use sourdough bread.
I know, but you should be away from bread completely. Okay?
Okay.
If you want, I mean, you do whatever you want, but the bread's not helping you. It's just corking you up. Okay?
Okay.
And with the bread, you're using what? Maple syrup and butter?
Ron's the one that's constipated. I'm not. I have the opposite problem.
Well, no, because what you have is loose stool because you're so constipated.
Oh, okay.
Okay, understand something. Diarrhea is the end result of chronic constipation because the body goes, get this the hell out of here because we're rotting out. And so now you're losing electrolytes in your minerals, okay?
Right.
All right, and it'll weaken you. And then with Ron, with his chronic constipation, he's so dry in there, and that's going to make him more grumpier, okay?
Yeah.
And then the diarrhea will make you less patient because it's stealing, it's draining your energy, okay?
Yeah.
How are we doing so far?
Well, I'm just wondering, do you have a whole program you can send us? I don't know that I can remember all this.
Well, first of all, did you remember that I'm sending you the audio?
Yeah.
So what if you were to sit down with this audio and you were to start it, stop it, and just take notes?
Okay.
What would happen is you would actually learn your protocol and then you could challenge me and question me, okay?
Yeah.
All I want you to do is breathe and relax and know that I'm here for you, and I really am. But I need you to listen to the audio. And then if you come back to me and you go, listen, we want you to do it, well, then I would have to pay my staff to do it, okay? And they would create the protocol for you. And understand, with the price that I charge, we don't build that in because we want people to do and take a look at this and then just build their protocol. It's not difficult. I will go over everything. Like all we're doing so far, we haven't talked about anything really. Talked about a couple of nutritionals and diet. You won't be overwhelmed if you sit down and listen to this a few times, I promise.
Okay.
I need you to become the program. Do you know what I mean?
Kinda.
Okay. Well, I need you to understand it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now, what else do you have for breakfast?
Oh, Ron eats oatmeal and...
Okay, oatmeal, okay.
I usually have fruit and juice.
Oatmeal is, oats are the only thing that oats are good for is to make you fat. And oats are full of, they're sugar. They're complete sugar. Okay?
Okay.
I'm telling you guys, you don't believe in this commercial lifestyle. It does not work. Okay, I'm going to go through things in a minute.
That's what he loves to eat, so that's
What?
what he gets.
Pardon?
That's what he loves to eat. I don't even like oatmeal.
Oh, well, let me tell you
Oatmeal.
something. Oatmeal is most people will get heartburn from oatmeal. Everybody's eating oats because they believe that Quaker Oats is telling them the truth. They're not. Oats are for fattening, to fatten up a horse or something. Okay? It gives them some spark of energy, but that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, oats are not great. That's all I'm going to say. That's a fallacy. Anything else you eat for breakfast?
The fruit, I eat fruit and juice.
Okay, what kind of juice?
Mango, and I mix in some frozen strawberries and kind of make a smoothie.
Okay, so what do? Buy mango juice?
Yeah, I buy it.
Okay, well, I just hope you know that it's like taking cocaine. So you never drink fruit juice. Nobody drinks fruit juice. Only lemon and lime. Fruit juice, well, actually, the mango juice, the amount of glucose in that will jack up and put you into immune distress for 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
Fruits don't become juice. Fruits become blender drinks. That's it.
Okay.
No fruit juice. You're just whacking yourself out with sugar. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna come to this. I just want to get all the stuff out of the way, and then I'll tell you what I would do if I was in your shoes, and then you can decide whatever you want. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
What else do you eat for breakfast?
Well, this morning I had a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato.
You had a grilled cheese?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just caused more diarrhea. So cheese actually works like a drug in the human body. It's got casein in it, and people crave cheese because it works like a drug. And you can't, and your husband can't have any cheese. It corks you up unless you've got irritable bowel syndrome, which you do, which now you should have a really good bout of diarrhea by tomorrow morning from this grilled cheese, okay? So now you took the bread, which is only 2 levels away from sugar, and then you took the cheese, which is concentrated milk, okay, and that cheese is going to inflame your bowel.
Okay.
You know, what people need to decide is, do I want my energy back? Do I want my life back? Or do I want to honor a dysfunctional way of eating and only honor the first 4 inches of my digestive tract, which means my mouth?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know what to say.
I'll tell you right now that if you do the water thing like I said, okay, remember you're getting this audio. You have to understand we're doing a lot of talking, but you'll be able to put together, I'm serious. This protocol's so easy. I told you, you guys listen to the audio, write your questions down, okay? And then also I need you, love, to go into the Perfect Day Guide, pdgfree.com, and I need you to look at the whole plant-based keto diet. It's all laid out. And then I want you to just go through that with yourself. Okay? Go through that, all right? And look at it, write your questions down. And then I'm going to go back through this with you and we'll nail this thing. And if you work with me, you're going to find out how good you're going to start feeling. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I will tell you something. That if you go on the computer a lot, please take a look at our Tesla Lightwear, okay? Because understand something. I'm going to give you a little education right now, and that is that 5G is not the problem on this planet. It's blue light. the blue light coming off the phone, off the lights in your house, the TV, the computer, understand after 3 minutes it inflames the human brain. Blue light is creating more radiation problems in humans than anything else on this planet. And it's all going to come out. It's going to come out. And go take a look at the Tesla Lightwear. And if you decide you want them, I'm going to work out before you buy anything, okay? I'm going to help you guys, okay? Because, I'm going to. Before you buy any products, we're going to go through this. And I'm going to help you out financially, all right? Okay?
Okay.
All right. Just know I'm on your side, okay? This isn't, well,
No, I'm sure.
it's the next person or the next clinic to take our money. That's not going to happen, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's get rid of that right now, okay? And understand that I will always give you more than I take, and that's it.
Okay.
All right? All right?
No.
Okay, so and remember I said that, it's on the audio. Okay.
Okay.
So, anyways, all I want you guys to do is this, if you can do it. You can do watermelon in the morning, try to get seeded watermelon if you want to eat that. Okay, you can do that. It also helps with doing that against weight loss. But the other thing is you can go to Costco. You can get frozen blueberry, organic, or strawberries. Okay, I'd rather you stick with the berries. Get yourself coconut water or coconut milk with no more than 3 ingredients in it, or make your own. And then I want you to put in 2 organic, free, well, not, it just can be two free-range raw eggs, okay? Into the blender drink. Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Just a sec.
Yep.
Okay, that was junk. All right.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, so
Alrighty.
all I want you to do is make a blender drink of 1 to 2 free-range eggs and berries and coconut milk, and I'll also have you put in a rounded teaspoon of black gold, okay? All right, that's it. That's it, guys. That's your breakfast. If you want anything else, you can have watermelon.
Where do we get black gold?
Well, black gold is what we sell. That's the humic fulvic.
Oh.
And that is to restore the good bacteria in your digestive tract to actually absorb the heavy metals, the chemicals, okay, and get rid of any parasites. How's that sound?
Good.
Now, that's
Good.
all you're going to do. And I don't want that until 11 o'clock.
All right.
I want the water before then, and we've already discussed that. Okay, so now, what are we going to have for lunch?
Ron doesn't eat lunch.
That's fine.
So, I just, sometimes I eat some meat or, sometimes I eat cheese and crackers.
Well, yeah, you're in trouble. So crackers are actually GMO, and so they also have a little...
Mine are supposed to be organic.
Okay, all right. But even if they are refined carbs, so that you're doing sugar. It's just like sugar. And then you're doing your cheese again, which is the best thing for IBS and diarrhea. Okay?
Okay.
So what you should be doing is like you could do, because it looks like you like the protein thing, you crave it. The best thing for you is to do the 2 raw organic eggs with your berry drink at 11 o'clock, and then at 12:30 or maybe 1 o'clock, you could do split pea soup. You could do lentil soup. You could do a nice lettuce, like a green rainbow salad with some black beans in it. Do you understand? Or you could just
Not black beans. I hate black beans.
Well, okay, any other beans, sweetie? I love black beans. Okay, so now I know that you won't be stealing my black beans. Okay.
Yeah, no
So,
way.
and if you don't want to do any of that, you should be doing, and Ron should be at least doing this. He should, when he's hungry, take an avocado and put really good, healthy salt, Himalayan, Celtic, a good sea salt, or real salt. We use real salt, REAL salt.
Right.
And squeeze some lemon on that and just eat the avocado for the fatty acids and for the aminos, okay? So that would be good on a meal on its own.
Right.
Okay, now, there's no snacking. Snacks are out. No more snacking. Okay?
Okay.
All right? No snacking.
Yeah.
Drinking structured water with Beyond Ormus minerals and Black Diamond, and that's what you do. And understand something. Everybody has been programmed to be a garbage can. Okay? 3 meals, 3 snacks. And maybe not you, but the rest of the world. So let's keep going. So now, what are you going to do for supper?
Sometimes meatloaf, sometimes, I don't know, what all do you eat?
Goulash,
Goulash with noodles.
salmon patties.
He likes ground meat.
I'm not much of a meat eater.
You're what?
I'm not a meat eater.
Yeah, I get that. So if you're not a meat eater, then what do you eat for supper? And then I want to talk to your wife.
Okay.
It's meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
You eat meat.
Well, that is meat.
Yeah, but I don't eat steaks and stuff like
He
that.
doesn't like steaks and roast and that kind of stuff. He likes ground meat.
Hey, you know what? If I was going to do it, I would want ground organic meat as well. I don't like steaks and I don't like
I like
roast.
grass-fed.
Yeah, that's good. But understand something. What is in the meatloaf?
Geez. What all do I put in the meatloaf? I guess breadcrumbs, onions, and eggs, and
It's not a
That's
great.
about
It's
it.
not a great meal. It's going to sit really heavy because there's 2
Okay.
proteins in there: eggs and meat. So we usually the body only wants 1 protein at a time, and the bread isn't going to do a lot of good. You got to, guys. You're going to have to try to make it simpler. You know.
well, changing your diet totally isn't real simple.
No, it isn't. But guess what? Then guess what? What I need your husband to do, Ron, is eat. Don't fill yourself so much. Meatloaf is going to sit heavy like a rock, so you better make sure you chew it till it's a
So what do you
liquid.
suggest you eat for dinner?
I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just trying to tell you.
I'm saying what would be an alternative to eat for dinner?
Well, there's nothing wrong with making. Like, do you make the meatloaf?
Yeah.
Well, what if you made him a nice burger out of the burger, and then he also had a steamed vegetable or a salad?
Okay, so a burger with no bun.
Yeah, no bun.
And
You can.
and vegetables or salad.
That's right. Or both.
Okay.
You could have vegetables, steamed vegetables, and a salad, and the burger. And guess what?
What about potatoes?
Don't be mixing it all there. You know, if you're gonna.
What?
Okay, starches and proteins don't go well together. So you can't overload. You know, that's a lot to eat. So he could do like potatoes, steamed vegetable, and a salad. It's just a better way to eat. You could put potatoes with the burger, but understand, he's not going to digest it as well. Do you ever see
Right.
this? The meat and potatoes guy, he's bloated, isn't he? Yeah, he's bloated.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You there?
I'm here. And then
Oh,
you,
okay.
at night, what did you say you eat, usually?
What do I eat? About the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, these are the changes that I guarantee you that if you in 10 to 14 days, if we start working with this, and then I also want you to write down what you eat and check in with me every 2 to 3 days. And we might find things that you're eating that you don't know that are going to backfire in your face. Look, you guys have to decide, are we going to live to eat or eat to live? And everybody's got their own percentage of what they want to do. And it's the people that have a lot to live for will put more into it. And people who believe they have nothing to live for will put nothing into it.
True. So, Ronald, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this or not?
I'm certainly going to try.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the audio, but let me go through a couple of things here, okay?
Okay.
I want you to go take a look at this. And then if you want, you can come to me with all your supplements, and I'll show you where you might be overdoing things or where we could make it better or easier, if you want. But take a look at the Perfect Day Multi, because that's going to get rid of a lot of your products that you've got singles going on. So go read up on the Perfect Day Multi. You don't have to write this down. I've got it on the audio. I'll have this audio to you within 10 minutes after we do the talk, okay?
Okay.
Look at the Perfect Day Multi. Look at the MCT Oil C60. Look at the Black Diamond, Black Gold, Ormus Minerals, Daily Cleansing Tea, okay? And one more, that's called Infinite Iodine, because everybody needs iodine every day and people aren't getting it. That's why their metabolism is all screwed up. That's why they can't lose weight. That's why, they have thyroid problems. But everybody needs iodine every day.
I don't have a thyroid.
You still need iodine, okay, for your parathyroid. Now, the next thing is one last product I want you to look at. It's called Silver Bullet.
Did you just say I don't need iodine
You do.
I don't
You
have
still
a
do.
thyroid?
You still do.
Oh,
Our
yeah,
infinite
okay.
iodine will neutralize a virus in 15 seconds, whether it's COVID all the way to HIV. Okay?
Okay.
Now, we also, and
Do
also,
you believe there's such a thing as COVID?
no, there isn't. I'm telling you, okay, first of all, what people call COVID being a cold flu, all it is just the waste product of a cell that is heavy, like could be heavy metal, man-made chemicals, because understand, the body has to create a drippy nose, diarrhea, fever, to get rid of these toxins, because understand, parasites won't eat this stuff, man-made stuff and heavy metals, bad bacteria won't, worms won't even eat it. Okay, so I don't get colds and flus because I don't bring in these toxins that can't be broken down by my body. And understand, viruses are just waste products. That's why people will get a cold and a flu with a change of season, because their immune system's so low. That's all. They can't even handle a change of season.
I'm sure I believe in viruses.
Well, they've never isolated a virus. I just said it's the waste product from a cell, and a cell will only have the amount of waste product a cell will have is how toxic the person is. That's it. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Anyways, but still, I have to talk like this, or else the average person doesn't understand me. Okay?
Well, you don't have to talk to us that way.
No, I didn't mean to, but, I'm used to it.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
No problem.
Or else I get myself into trouble, and I'm there trying to explain for too long. Okay.
Okay.
Let me think here. So, the last thing is called
iodine.
iodine, infinite iodine. Go take a look at that. And last thing, go look at Silver Bullet Immunity. Okay, now you know about silver that people drink and stuff like that. because it helps to get rid of infection and build the immune system. But that silver that's out there, it lasts 8 to 10 minutes in the body. Our silver is a new breakthrough. It lasts 8 to 10 hours, and we want to nebulize it. I want you to nebulize it. Get a nebulizer. Nebulize
Nebulizer.
Good. Nebulize the infinite iodine. Nebulize the silver bullet immunity. And guess what? That will go in your brain. That will go in your blood. That will go into your cells. That will go into your lungs. And this is all about creating an environment to help to restore your immune system. That's it. Just read about them.
So are you saying nebulize every day?
I'm saying nebulize like your life depends on it.
So that'd be every day.
Yeah, and throughout the day.
Good grief. That's a lot of nebula.
Well, okay, well, guess what? If you're...
anything else.
One second. If you're sitting on the computer, you could nebulize while you're on there reading. If you're watching TV, if you are laying down having a nap, you could put the nebulizer mask on and just fall asleep and breathe.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
You can do whatever you want, and that's the easiest. So how do I nebulize? I will put the mask on, the nebulizing mask on when I fall asleep, or whenever I decide if I want to go and chill out for a while. I'll do that. And understand, you can believe this or not, but I've got people that have been diagnosed with severe lung problems like the big C, and they don't have a lot of money, and we get them nebulizing the infinite iodine and the silver bullet immunity, and they do it like their life depends on it. And I've got people who can't afford much else, and they end up in 3 months, 4 months later going to the doctor, and they can't find it. They can't find the problem.
Oh, that's great.
I'm talking about, you've got to understand that if you can get rid of the infection, you can get rid of the inflammation. And the infection creates the inflammation that causes the mucus production, that causes the stagnation and the cellular constipation of the alveoli in our lungs. And if we can nebulize, anything that goes into our lungs goes into our blood. If it goes into our blood, it goes throughout our body, right? Okay.
What the hell is she doing?
She's down there listening to us.
Okay, how are we doing? Good?
Are you ready to go? Okay. All right. Sorry.
How's that? How are we doing?
Fine. I've got to say goodbye to somebody who's leaving. I'll be right back.
Okay. Ron, how old are you again?
86.
And your wife?
83.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Ron, what do you think?
Helper lady that comes in.
What'd you say, sir?
Say we have a helper lady that comes in 7 days a week.
Okay,
helps us
sir.
get stuff done. And she's just been standing there for the last hour, so.
Oh, okay.
Done. Let her go.
Yes, sir.
That's what Sandy's doing.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right, so what I want you to do is just you and your wife take your time, go through the audio, okay? The audio is about an hour and 40 minutes. Take your time, write your questions down. Please just take the time and just work with it, and then we'll get back together. We'll create a protocol, and then we'll move on from there. How does that sound?
Sounds good. We're going to definitely need some help.
Well, sir, I'm not going
anywhere. It'll be a
anywhere.
lot of work.
No, it's not. And we're going to take it step by step. And I already told you, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to help you, okay? Do not become overwhelmed with something new. That's just a program.
Yeah, we've already been overwhelmed.
Well, we're not going to do that anymore. And I've got between me and my staff, we're here to support you. All right?
Good. That'd be good.
Now, Ron, if you call me and you don't hear from me within an hour, you're going to call me back, right?
Okay.
But you have to understand, Ron, I give my phone number to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And you understand
Yeah.
that I'm not going to leave you, okay? I'm going to put your wife and your name beside the phone number, and understand you're a priority, okay?
Right.
All right. We need
got two different phone numbers.
Pardon?
I say my wife and I each have our different phone numbers.
Well, Ron, the phone number I'm on, is that yours?
Yes.
Well, who answers the phone the most, you or your wife?
Oh, I probably do.
You do? Then guess what? This will be the phone number. So have your wife call me on this one then, okay?
Okay.
And you call me on this one. It'll just keep it simpler for us. Is that okay, sir?
Sure. Sure.
All right. Shall I wait for her, or are we good and I'll send you the audio?
I'd say we're good. Send us the audio.
Okay, sir, I'll do that. If you have any more questions today, what are you going to do?
Wait for the audio.
No, you're going to call me.
Okay.
Every question matters, sir. Okay?
Right.
All right?
Okie dokie.
Be patient with yourself. Okay? Be patient with yourself. All right?
Yeah.
All right?
That's one problem we both have is patience.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your time and information.
Have a beautiful day, Ron, and
You too.
tell your wife the same for me. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.